Pranam to everyone. Okay, Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to this Saturday morning Srimad Bhagavatam summary study. It's very nice. The devotees are all gathered here continuously every week. Thanks to all the organizers here. What we will do is go through a very interesting, very important part of our study on Srimad Bhagavatam from the third canto. We'll do a bit of a recap and then we will try to cover chapter 9, the second part of chapter 9 in the third canto. So, actually, a couple of weeks back, we did the study. Sorry, just give me one moment. I'm just setting up the system. Okay. Let me know if you can see my screen. Okay. I'm guessing all of you are able to see the screen. So, Canto 3 is called the status quo. What things stand as is. In the eighth chapter, we saw how Brahmaji came into existence um, after his one of the kalpas is over. That means this activity happens on every day of Brahma. So there's this day of Brahma, end of Brahma's day, all the creation, everything goes into Garbhodaksha Vishnu. With Brahmaji is recreated on the next day, and then he does further creation. Okay, so that's what we saw. And Brahmaji actually came on that lotus flower. He tried to search for the Lord, and the Lord was visible for him in chapter 8. And chapter 9 is where Brahmaji is doing his prayers. Correct? So we will actually see what's the quick recap. Right? As soon as Brahmaji sees the Lord, he starts glorifying the personality of Godhead. He glorifies the person, not the energy. And throughout his the whatever we saw last week, it was all about glorification of that person, how wonderful he is, what all he does, what are the other things that come, how merciful he is towards his devotees. We also saw where Brahmaji specifically tells that your devotees can see you through the ears by the process of bona fide hearing. That was one of the takeaways of the previous session, trying to cover till shloka 22. And he also mentions a very important point. We'll see if time permits, we'll elaborate on that later today. That Brahmaji is saying that even with the prayers of demigods, oh my Lord, you're not satisfied, but you're satisfied with the prayers of your pure devotees. Because this chapter 9 is going to be prayers of Brahmaji, and he's setting up the context of prayer itself. So he's telling why or what is the importance of prayers, and why is or what is it that he is going to pray for. Okay, so he actually mentions that even demigods, when they pray to you, is mostly to fulfill their material hankerings. So anyone who approaches you for material satisfaction, you're not very satisfied with that. But my Lord, a pure devotee, when he approaches, or you love and support your pure devotees because they do not have any material standings or material requirements that they come to you for. Okay, so this is what we saw. This is the quick background. Now, specifically, what happened? What is the so far? Brahmaji is praying. Lord Brahma is praying to the Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, that he is seeing in front of him in Garbhodaksha Vishnu. So, what is it that the specific things that he's going to ask for? That is what we will see today. Okay, with that background, let's do the invocation prayers and continue. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Narab Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkrapatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Parvanatmam. Okay, Hare Krishna. So this shloka 21 and 22, we will recap and then we'll continue from today's 23rd shloka. So Brahmaji continues, O object of my worship, I am born from the house of your navel for the purpose of creating the universe by your mercy. All these planets of the universe were stationed within your transcendental abdomen while you were enjoying sleep. Now, your sleep having ended, your eyes are opening like blossoming lotuses in the morning. I wanted to touch upon this because there are a couple of very, very important uh, pieces that are there. So it's good to always recollect those. Firstly, what we see here is that the importance. So Brahmaji has come from the lotus, and he is got that knowledge. So if you've seen in the previous chapter and earlier, he says that, oh, now I know what I need to do. I know I need to start creating, my Lord. And so he says that I have that knowledge. Okay, now I need your blessings to enact on that knowledge that I have got. And then he says, your eyes are so beautiful when they open after you have come out from your sleep. Now, here, Srila Prabhupada mentions there are a couple of important things that he mentions, right? He mentions the importance of the Lord being the supreme person. We treat him as a person. And how is it connected to the Archana Vidhi? So, if in today morning we were in the Mangalarti, so what happens? The pujaris go there at 4 a.m. We go there at 5, 4:45, whatever, 5 o'clock. But 4 a.m., the altar, 4 a.m., they get into the altar and they wake the Lord up. Similarly, in the night after Sayanarti, they put the Lord to sleep. No, a normal person may think, oh, he's the supreme Lord, like what you're saying, and Lord is all energetic, all that. Why should he sleep? Why should he wake up? And Srila Prabhupada mentions that only foolish non-devotees can think like that. Lord is a person. He also sleeps. Brahmaji himself is confirming. You were enjoying your sleep, right? So we were all in your abdomen. We were all waiting for you to act. So you were enjoying your sleep. That's for one night of Brahma. One day of Brahma is the Kalpa. One night of Brahma is when everything is non-active. Everything is waiting in the Lord's body for the creation again to happen. So as soon as the Lord opens his eyes, looks very beautiful. And Brahmaji is confirming that he is a person. So this the Archana Vidhi that we follow of putting the Lord to sleep, waking the Lord up, feeding the Lord, these are all very bona fide. We should always treat the Lord as a person, especially devotees who have got deities at home. They're so attached to their deities. They buy them new dresses. They say that, you know what, the Lord's footwear has now become old. After 1 year, I'm going to change the Lord's footwear. What really? It's just a statue, less a doll, whatever. He's sitting there. Why would you need new dresses, new chappals, a new variety of dishes? Because you don't understand the Lord. Brahmaji is reconfirming that the importance of this Archana Vidhi that we need to follow. Impersonalists always think backwards. Okay. Let the Supreme Lord be merciful towards me. He is the one friend and soul of all living entities in the world, and he maintains all for their ultimate happiness. By his 6 transcendental opulences, may he be merciful towards me so that I, as before, may be empowered with the introspection to create. For I am also one of the surrendered souls who are dear to the Lord. So here there's a very important word that is used as before. So when I started off today's session, I said, this is not the first time Brahmaji is doing it. It's another kalpa. And this is the confirmation. Brahmaji saying that, oh, you know what? I've done this before. Let the Lord empower me to do it again. Okay. Maybe empowered with the introspection to create, for I am also one of the surrendered souls who are dear to the Lord. The Lord will empower you when you're dear to Him. That means you should surrender to Him. So, so we can take the examples, all our acharyas, wonderfully, Srila Prabhupada, right? So we just had Srila Prabhupada Vyas Puja about a week back, and there many devotees came and glorified Srila Prabhupada. We heard how Srila Prabhupada was an empowered servant of the Lord. The Lord will empower you for any of your activities. So when we are preaching, we should understand that we are representing our spiritual master, we are representing the parampara, we are empowered to represent the parampara by the Lord to the degree that I am surrendered to the will of the Lord. Okay, the Lord has empowered me because I am one of the surrendered souls. See, the action and reaction always happen together. To the degree you are surrendered, to that degree the Lord reciprocates. The Lord is very, 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 very reciprocal. We all know that, right? So the Lord is not impersonal. The Lord is not that, acha, this is karma. You do and you get it. He doesn't act like that with his devotees. You go to the Lord lovingly, the Lord reciprocates, and you can actually see that, you can actually feel that. Okay, a couple of wonderful examples that Srila Prabhupada quotes. As always, I think I've bored people saying this, but please read Srila Prabhupada's purports. We don't have enough time to cover that because we're trying to cover 20-25 shlokas in a class. So we will try to touch upon important factors, but it is your individual responsibility to say that I've heard or completed this chapter only if you have read Srila Prabhupada's purport end to end. So, anyways, we'll continue. So now the prayers are continuing. Now from today's shloka. Esha prasanna varado ramayatma shaktya yat yat karishyati grihita gunavat gunavataraha tasmin swavikraman idam srijatopi cheto yunjita karma shamalam chayata vijayam. The Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, is always the benefactor of the surrendered soul. His activities are always enacted through his internal potency, Rama, or the goddesses of fortune. I pray only to engage in his service in the creation of the material world, and I pray that I not be materially affected by my works, for thus I may be able to give up the false prestige of being the creator. Okay, so now Brahmaji so far was glorifying the Supreme Lord, setting up the position of the Supreme Lord, and setting up his position, saying that now I'm created, now I'm born. My job is to create like I did earlier. Now his prayers are starting. Now, very importantly, if you understand what is this topic all about, right? So in the second canto, we actually saw the 10 subject matters of Srimad Bhagavatam. Atra sargo visargascha stanam poshanam utayah manvantari ishanukata nirodho muktir ashraya. 10 subject matter. Sarga, visarga, sthana poshana utaya. Okay. We'll remove the rest of it. We'll come to that later. Okay. So sarga, we understand sarga is the fundamental creation, and Visarga is the secondary creation or the sub-creation that Brahmaji does. All the elements that were created, so second canto, the elaborate description of how the elements come into picture, what happens with the gunas, how they interact, what are the things that are formed out of it, and everything. How Brahmaji uses these to create is the Visarga part of it that Brahmaji does in the beginning. He now has to recreate, which is again a Visarga part. But here is a topic of Udayaha. Uti means the creative impetus or the creative energy or the power to create. That's what is the prayer. So this chapter is called Brahmaji's prayers for creative energy. Basically, my understanding is this is where Brahmaji prays for Uti or the creative impetus from which he is going to continue the creation. He's praying for the creative. This is not creation yet. He's just praying. So, what happens when you create something? When you create something, you become happy about it, and then you become proud about it if it's successful, right? The entire world runs around this concept. I did this. I have done such a nice job. Even with devotees, many a times it can happen. We become proud of something that we have delivered. Oh, you know what? I did such wonderful kirtan today. There were hundreds of people jumping and dancing. They were enjoying. Prabhuji, our drama did not go very well, Prabhu. Next time we will do better. We were trying to do this, we are trying to do that. No, we do the activity for the pleasure of the Lord. It can be cooking, it can be kirtan, it can be any other service, right? We do it for the pleasure of the Lord. When during Janmashtami, we were doing that Krishna book reading, which Srila Prabhupada set up. And many times devotees are hesitant to go and do Krishna book reading because there's no one to listen. Hare Prabhu, no one is there. I should alone sit and read. I can do it wherever. No, but you're not alone sitting and reading. There is Radha Madhav photo, there's Jagannath photo, there's the Krishna book, which is representative of the Lord himself, right? The Bhagavatam. So you're reading for the pleasure of the Lord. Please understand that every service that we do is for His pleasure. That's why we take all the pain. It could be voluntary, it could be forced, whatever it is. We do that service for the Lord's pleasure. Otherwise, we become proud of that service because you think I am doing that service because I think that I am important. Oh, I did such a nice service. No one came and appreciated me. Correct. And this is where we learn from different senior Vaishnavas. This is where we learn from the Acharyas, the Parampara, and we are learning from the head of the Parampara, which is Lord Brahma himself. He says, you know what? Please empower me to create. Please give me that knowledge. But here my prayers are, whatever I do, let me not become proud of that. Will pride hit? It does hit. Does it hit everyone? It does hit everyone. Does it hit every time? No. That's where we have the choice, right? It's not about being humble outside, saying that, oh, Prabhu, only by Vaishnava's mercy like you, I'm able to do the service. It's not falsely telling it. You actually mean it, right? That is where when we do our Vyas Puja offerings to our spiritual master, when we do our Vyas Puja offering to Srila Prabhupada, we offer whatever we have done for the year, right? So if you have seen the Vyas Puja offerings, someone actually messaged this morning on the Vyas Puja offering of 1989 by my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jaipadak Swami Guru Maharaj of to Srila Prabhupada. He tells these are the different things I served this year, and I'm offering it to you because only by your mercy I was able to do it. That is what is a Vyas Puja offering, saying that I was able to do all this successfully or unsuccessfully. I tried this, but all this is because you have blessed me. Okay, let us not become falsely proud. And this false pride, or in fact, this pride is normal, right? And this is how we are materially created as well, right? So we can go on to this topic many, many times. Yashila Prabhupada says the foolish men want to take credit for all the creation made by them, but intelligent person knows very well that not a blade of grass moves without the will of the Lord. But what do we do every year, every time at office, at school? We show our success, our report card, our performance reviews, saying that I have done all this. But we should come back and tell the Lord, saying that I was able to do all this, or I was trying to do all this only by your mercy. Very, very important points we learn directly from Lord Brahma here. Let's continue. The Lord's potencies are innumerable, and he lies down in the water of devastation. I am born as the total universal energy from the navel lake in which the lotus sprouts. I am not engaged in manifesting his diverse energies in the form of the cosmic manifestation. I am now engaged. I therefore pray that in the course of my material activities, I may not be deviated from the vibration of the Vedic hymns. Okay, so he's telling where the Lord is, how is he situated, because he was very fearful, right? So it will further come. Brahmaji, when he saw the water, the water of devastation, the Garbhodaka ocean was actually very scary for him until the Lord appeared and actually pacified him or calmed him down by his just appearance. So he's saying that, okay, now when I get into my activities, let me not deviate from the vibrations of the Vedic hymns. Okay, so this is from Brahmaji's perspective. From whatever is the takeaway that I understand is very simple. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, Vedic, they represent the Vedas, they represent the knowledge. Whatever activity I'm doing, spiritual material, however it is connected, is it approved by Guru, Sadhu, Shastra? If not, then go seek direction if you do not know. If it is not approved, you clearly know it's not approved, please do not do it. Because we are all protected very mercifully by the Parampara. We're all protected. And if we do not use the blessings, it's very, very unfortunate. If I forcefully do something which is not according to the Vedic literatures, according to Guru Sadhu Shastra, then I'm actually getting out of the protection. Right? So that's what is mentioned here. So what is the entire prayer for? So this Uti, so if you remember, Atra Sarga, Visarga, Sthanam, Poshana. This topic of Poshana, and then comes Uti. This Poshana itself is protection of the Lord. Right? So you want protection of the Lord for every activity, protection of the Lord. In fact, we have very merciful devotees, right? So we are cared, protected by our spiritual authority, spiritual masters, provided we surrender to the Lord and the instructions of the bona fide spiritual master. Okay, we'll continue. The Lord, who is supreme and is the oldest of all, is unlimitedly merciful. I wish that he may smilingly bestow his benediction upon me by opening his lotus eyes. He can uplift the entire cosmic creation, remove our dejection by kindly speaking his direction. The whole cosmic manifestation is a chance for all to improve themselves in devotional service to the Lord, and everyone is meant for that purpose. Okay, so that's what is mentioned here. That means here, this is shloka number 25. Here, if you see, Brahmaji is requesting directions from the Lord. So far, he's just been praying. So he's now asking, Lord, what is it that you will give? Right? So, Lord, can you please give me directions? And the Lord gives directions for all of us. And we are all meant for that purpose of understanding the directions of the Lord and serving Him with love. Right? I mean, and at every given opportunity, we have the possibility of improving our service. There is no end to the quality of our service, nor the quantity of the service that we can do for the Lord. And every opportunity is, can I do better? And this starts right in the beginning of the day when we take our beats and say, okay, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. The first beat moves. The second beat, my mind is elsewhere. My tongue is just telling Hare Krishna. Bring it back. Okay, can I improve? Can I improve? Can I improve? So His Grace Mahatma Prabhu was here in Bangalore long back in our old temple, and I was attending a portion of his Japa workshop. And what I understood him saying is that don't worry about 16 rounds, don't worry about 108 malas. Your connection with the Lord is that next mala, that next bead. I'm sorry, that next bead. And that's why he says, focus only on the first two, Hare Krishna. That for every japa mala that you're doing, every japa that you're doing, right? So when you say Hare Krishna, if you're focusing on that, rest of the mantra is fine. Your mind cannot divert because your next Hare Krishna is going to come within the next 5 seconds. Able to understand? So it's an opportunity whenever our mind gets deviated, it's an opportunity for us to bring it back, say that, let me improve on my next beat, let me improve on my next round, let me improve on my next 16 mala, let me do beyond that. we are reading, when we are hearing, we do we do many other things because our mind is extremely powerful, materially very, very strong. It can do 20 things at a time, correct? So bring it back. And this whole concept of, can I improve my devotional service? And all of us are meant to do that. We take directions from the Lord, and this is what Brahmaji is praying for. So Brahmaji is finished. He says, Lord, can you please kindly give me direction? That is where the topic of Brahmaji's prayer ends. So this whole conversation is between Maitreya and Vidura. You understand? So probably we need to touch upon this because this is again an important point. You saw that there are 25 shlokas where Brahmaji is praying for, yes, to praying to the Lord for creative energy. In the 25 shlokas, only the last 4 shlokas is where he actually prays for direction, prays for Lord's benediction, prays for Lord's blessings, prays, tells that Lord, you are very, very merciful. Please give me instructions, directions, and so on. Because he already has that knowledge, he wants the Lord's blessings and support. What was he doing for the first 20 shlokas? He was glorifying the Lord. Here, Maitreya Muni is actually replying back to Vidura. And if you remember how Vidura actually prays to Maitreya Muni is very similar. And Vidura actually takes instruction from Uddhava is also very similar. If you go back to the earliest chapters of this canto, Vidura actually tells Maitreya Muni, he glorifies him for 10 shlokas, then tells, can you please give me directions? Can you please give me instructions? Can you give me pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is beneficial for me? So our mood or attitude of seeking blessings should be that I actually acknowledge and glorify the person from whom I am taking instructions. Brahmaji did that. So for us, Brahmaji is the top in the parampara, right? So he is our clear evidence of what or how we should act. And I mean, at least in these chapters, there are other portions where Brahmaji gets deviated because he acts acts in the material energy of the Lord. So keeping that aside, I mean, because every time the Lord needs someone in his drama troupe to actually give out the message. So this conversation between Brahmaji and the Lord, how Brahmaji actually glorifies the Lord, then asks his sends his request. Similarly, Vidura did that to Maitreya. So Maitreya is told all this and he is continuing. O Vidura, after observing the source of his appearance, namely the personality of Godhead, Brahma prayed for his mercy as far as his mind and words would permit. Thus, having prayed, he became silent, as if tired from his activities of penance, knowledge, and mental concentration. So he's concentrating on the Lord. That's what Brahmaji is doing. And he's saying that, okay, now the Lord will talk to Brahmaji. Okay, the Lord is appeared there, right? So we know this part. The Lord saw that Brahma was very anxious about the planning and construction of the different planetary system and was depressed upon seeing the devastating water. He could understand the intention of Brahma, and thus he spoke in deep, thoughtful words, removing all the illusion that had arisen. Okay, now the Lord is going to talk to Brahma, who was anxious, was agitated earlier about, oh, what will I do? And he's also prayed that, okay, let me not be affected by false prestige, affected by Maya with this activity that I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, so this is what I had mentioned earlier. The devastating water was so fearful that even Brahma was perturbed at its appearance and became very anxious about how to situate the different planetary systems in outer space to accommodate the different kinds of living entities. Brahmaji's work is to create, and he has to create all the planetary systems. He has to create the different living entities who are going to act in those planetary systems. And he is seeing that what he was very scared, and that's where he focused his meditation, saying that that tapa that we heard from the Canto 1, and now again, obviously, with all the knowledge that he has got, he starts praying. So he's saying, so this Brahma was fully confused. Now he's praying, and Lord will now remove his doubts, his questions. Okay. The Supreme Personality of Godhead then said, O Brahma, O depth of Vedic wisdom, be neither depressed nor anxious about the execution of creation. What you're begging from me has already been granted before. Okay, here actually Srila Prabhupada mentions any authorized person, anyone who is representing the Lord is already blessed before. He's already granted that the permission to actually go and represent the Lord. So whenever we are going, whenever we are doing the service for the Lord, right? So when we're doing book distribution or any outreach program, you're very scared, you're very anxious, saying that, oh, you know what will happen, who will tell what, because you're going to deal with absolutely outcomers. You don't know if how they will react. Will they be nice to us? Will they not be nice to us, and so on, right? So don't worry about all that. We are representing the Lord because the Lord has already authorized us. In many cases, we are authorized by our spiritual authorities to do that work. Because I think about a couple of weeks back, just around the Janmashtami time, Uncle Prabhu actually mentioned to one of the service leaders, saying that, hey, Prabhu, you cannot do your service in fear. You're authorized by me to do that service. You don't need to, because I am authorized by my guru. My guru is authorized by Srila Prabhupada, and so on. So you cannot serve in fear. And that's the mood that we need to carry, because as long as we are doing that service for the pleasure of the Lord, we have established that bare minimum standard, right? We are doing it for the pleasure of the Lord. We are doing it for Guru Sadhu Shastra. You're not deviating. As long as you're doing that, you don't need to be anxious about, oh, what will people think? How will this work? Will this work or not? Will By doing this service, will I be affecting someone else? You cannot work in fear. Okay, very, very important, very nice point that was. So I thought I should tell it here. The other important piece word that I see in this, the Lord is telling Brahmaji, whatever you're begging for is already granted by me. The word begging for me is very, very important. Many times, because Srila Prabhupada keeps using this, right? So other religions, so-called religions, they all actually think the Lord is order supply. If I do this, the Lord is going to give me this. Or when they go and tell, oh Lord, give me my daily bread. I was just hearing Srila Prabhupada's lecture some couple of days back, and Srila Prabhupada actually mentions that, oh Lord, give me my daily bread, is you're telling the Lord to give. Of course, the mood can be different, whatever it is. So we should actually beg the Lord. And, and the word begging is not easy, not cheap. You are actually standing there telling the Lord, please give me. And when you say, please give me, you mean it. Please let this festival go very nicely. Please let me actually finish this yatra very nicely. Let my spiritual, because we just saw in the couple of previous shlokas saying that at every moment you have an opportunity to improve on your devotional service. And that's the begging that we always do. The Lord is acknowledging that you're begging, right? So He's not saying that, oh, whatever you have asked for, no, whatever you have begged for. That means you're very, very, very humble when you go and stand in front of the Lord and ask Him anything, right? So, and this part is not new for Brahma. He's actually reiterating that it's already granted by me. It's not new for you. Oh, Brahma, situate yourself in penance and meditation and follow the principles of knowledge to receive my favor. By these actions, you will be able to understand everything from within your heart. Later also, you will actually see this point come up as Chaitya Guru from within the heart actually gives you directions. It tells just to Lord Brahma again. Sorry. Okay. Again, he says, situate yourself in penance meditation, follow the principles of knowledge. Basic knowledge, follow the directions as given to you. Okay. That's why you need a spiritual authority. You cannot just think that spiritual life is automatic, very easy. Okay. Because if you are doing something, Also, this is an introspective question, right? All of us should ask this question, saying that when in doubt, whom do I ask? First part. Second part, do I even have a doubt? Or I take it for granted that everything that I do is correct? No, it can be as simple as, oh, I've got this new flower. Should I offer it, not offer it? Right? It could be. I mean, if you have a doubt, I mean, Krishna is very merciful, right? So he takes forest flowers, he takes everything. But in simple, when we go to Sri Rangam temple, you will see that in and around that place, they never have roses offered to the Lord. Why? Because the Lord doesn't accept rose, according to what the Acharyas have mentioned. I think it's the Sri Rangam temple. I'm like 99% sure. So, because the devotees feel that the roses can have thorns and that can affect the body of the Lord. Oh, Lord's body, I mean, such big personality, such small rose, what will it do? No, that's the personal dealing with the Lord. So everything that you do, you should understand how are you dealing with it, right? So you get instructions. When the DT department says a certain thing, saying that we will do this, we'll not do this, we'll agree, we understand. And how are they actually doing it? Sorry, I just jumped. Right? So that is very important. So, okay. Sorry, we are in Shloka 30. So this principles of knowledge is very important. That's when you will receive the favor of the Lord, as long as you're following the rules and regulations properly. Oh Brahma, when you're absorbed in devotional service, in the course of your creative activities, you will see me in you and throughout the universe, and you will see that you yourself, the universe, and the living entities are all in the same thing that we heard in Bhagavad Gita, right? So the Lord says that I am in everything and everything is in me, but I'm not afflicted by it. So he's telling the same thing to Brahmaji, say that when you're doing your work, right? Not when you're creating, but when you're doing your creation in devotional service, that time you will be able to see me. Okay, you'll be able to see me in everything that you're doing throughout the universe, everywhere. My influence is there. This is the omnipresence of the Lord, right? So the Lord is present everywhere, and you will actually see that. Okay. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada actually mentions about the past Srimad Brahmanda Ghat. Devotees know that and they can read it. So I'll continue. You will see me in all living entities as well as all over the universe, just as fire is situated in one. Only in that state of transcendental vision will you be able to be free from all kinds of illusion. The moment you see the Lord in everything and everywhere, you'll actually see that you are seeing the Lord everywhere. That means you are not affected by any illusion or Maya. So here, uh, very nicely, actually, so Brahmaji's prayers, right? So Brahmaji prayed that he might not forget his eternal relationship with the Lord during the course of his material activities, right? He said, let me do this, but let me not forget you, my dear Lord. And the Lord, in the answer, he says that he should not think of existing without a relationship with his omnipotence. That the Lord is omnipotent. You can see him everywhere, and it doesn't have to be fearful about it. Okay. So the Lord is answering to every prayer, every question that Brahmaji had. Okay. And what is the Lord saying? That you take my directions, you act this way. That means what? Nimitta matra bhava sabyasashi, right? So nimitta matra, you just be an instrument. So Brahmaji here, like Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, he was just an instrument in the hands of the Lord. He was representing the Lord. He was doing that as service of the Lord, as what the Lord desired. If you do that as per the authorities, what happens? You are not affected by Maya. You are free from all the illusions. Right? When the authorities say you do this kirtan, everyone enjoys, everyone dances to the kirtan, but you're doing it for the pleasure of the Lord, and then you're not proud that my kirtan actually made hundreds of people dance. But the reverse is the moment you see so many people dancing. So sometimes, devotees continue the kirtan more than required or continue the class more than required because they see that, okay, people are enjoying my class, people are enjoying my kirtan, people are enjoying my service. And Srila Prabhupada in one of the lectures actually says that you're not here to please people. You're not in the service of pleasing people, you're in the service of pleasing the Lord. The moment you get happy that people are getting pleased, not thinking about the Lord, that means you're deviating. That means your Maya is taken over you. Because that will build pride. And what is the biggest quality of pride? That's the last mm, uh, nail of Maya, right? You become proud of being a very nice devotee. You become proud of doing a very nice service. In fact, the moment you take this pride out and throw it away, you become free of pride. You immediately become proud that you're able to control pride. Right? Pride is a very, very, very difficult thing to let go of. The name, fame that comes with whatever we are doing, it could be material, and more importantly for devotees, because we are already in third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So most of you are practicing Krishna. Most of us are ideally practicing Krishna conscious devotees. So we should be very careful with this, because with every service there will be very nice devotees who will come and appreciate the service. They'll say, Prabhu, you did such a wonderful service today. We should not become proud of that service. Rather, we should understand that this was a service for the pleasure of the Lord, for the pleasure of my spiritual master, and genuinely be humble. Okay, we'll continue. When you are free from the conception of gross and subtle bodies, and when your senses are free from all influences of modes of material nature, you will realize your pure form in my association. At that time, you will be situated in pure consciousness. This is the entire purpose, right? We are trying to situate ourselves in our swarupa or a real form. What is the form? We are free from whatever this gross body represents, whatever is my mind, intelligence, and ego telling me that who am I? If I understand that I am the spirit soul, I am the one serving I am here. My entire purpose is to render transcendental loving service to the Lord. Correct? I should do my activity. How should I do my activity? With love. Srila Prabhupada never says that, never uses the word devotion directly. He always uses the word devotional service. That is bhakti, right? So, and loving devotional service. That's how we should understand whatever activity that we're doing. We should do it with love. And what happens? You will be situated in pure consciousness. So I've heard from senior Vaishnavas. It's not my experience that the more you serve, the more you continue, you will start realizing things that are you are beyond this body. The things that affect your body becomes lesser and lesser and lesser. Right at the age of 70, Srila Prabhupada could travel. Or yesterday, my spiritual master gave darshan after a few months. And just by looking at the material aspects of it, it is unbearable to understand that someone who has such bodily condition is able to do so much service, but every day he sends so many messages impacting our day-to-day life, saying that, look, if I could do it, you should do a lot more. Right? So we take, it's not easy, but we should understand. So we are beyond this body, and we should try to take messages from all these wonderful Vaishnavas when they, and you understand, oh, okay, this is not, it's not simple, it's so much more. Okay, there's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that we saw. Since you have desired to increase the population innumerably and expand your varieties of service, you shall never be deprived in this matter, because my causeless mercy upon you will always increase for all time. This is the Lord's blessing to Brahmaji, saying that what are you trying to do? You're trying to increase the population innumerably, expand the variety of service. You shall never be deprived of my blessings, my costless mercy. Simple understanding for me. We are all here in the same business. We are trying to increase the population of people in Krishna consciousness. That is our service, right? So, end of the day, the entire objective of a Krishna consciousness movement is bring everyone to the lotus feet of the Lord and expand the varieties of services. We are also supposedly trying to do all the services that we can. Put in all your skills for the service of the Lord. If you're a good developer, use it for Krishna service. If you are a good organizer, use it for Krishna service. If you're a good speaker, use it for Krishna service. If you're a good artist, use it for Krishna service, and so on, right? So whatever is your skill, use it for Krishna service. If you have money, use it for Krishna service. The more you use it for Krishna service, for bringing people into Krishna consciousness, the Lord is going to show his costless mercy upon us. That's what we want, right? So end of the day, we are all the product of mercy of the Lord. Your staying in Krishna consciousness is not your effort, but by the mercy of the Lord that flows through the disciple, the Guru Parampara. That flows through the Guru Parampara, it's so blessed. Right? And you carry it forward. You're not supposed to sit there and relish that mercy that comes along, but you take it forward. Okay, so we all understand our position, and this is the instruction that was given by the Lord to Brahmaji, saying that you are trying to increase population of this material world because that's your work, and each of us in Krishna consciousness, our work is to bring more people to Krishna consciousness. That's it. Okay, so who is Brahmaji? Brahmaji, Lord says, you are the original Rishi, and because your mind is always fixed on me, even though you will be engaged in generating various progeny, the vicious mode of passion will never encroach upon you. Again, this whole idea of passion, whenever we are creating anything, passion automatically comes. You become very passionate about it, but that passion can sometimes lead to pride. Not sometimes, more often than not. You're proud of what you have created. Obviously, you have created it, right? Or people are going to become proud of it, right? So if you want protection from that, then you need to catch hold of the lotus feet of the Lord. That means you're doing it as a service to them. That's all. Here he's saying that because you are serving everything, original Rishi, right? So you're doing everything, all these activities, creation of so many varieties of living entities and everything, you will never be affected by the mode of passion. I will protect you. Right? That is the Lord's blessing. The Lord blessing to each of Brahmaji's prayers. Let me not become proud, right? So Brahmaji prayed, he says, don't worry, you will be protected. Although I'm not easily knowable by the conditioned soul, you have known me today because you know that my personality is not constituted of anything material and specifically not of the five gross and three subtle elements. The Lord's position, right? So, firstly, the Lord is not easily knowable, right? That's why we have 99+% of people who are not Krishna conscious because it's very difficult to understand the Lord as a person. You can understand the Lord by what? Only by the mercy of the Lord, right? So here the Lord is actually giving that mercy to Brahmaji, saying that now you know me, so you can do anything. And what is Lord's position? Sarvasya Prabhu, but the Lord is never affected by anything material or subtle. He's always situated in his transcendental position. When you were contemplating whether there was source to the stem of the lotus of your birth, and you even entered into that stem, you could not trace out anything. But at that time, I manifested my form from within. So we all know this Bhashyam, right? So we all know this from first canto. We all know this from the previous chapter. That Brahmaji was in his bewilderment. He actually goes down that stem to identify where am I coming from. Okay, but he couldn't see it. Then he comes back and does tapa because he hears a penance or tapa, and then the Lord manifested from within, right? So that's the Chaitya Guru concept. Oh Brahma, the prayer that you have chanted, praising the glories of my transcendental activities, the penances you have undertaken to understand me, and your firm faith in me, all these are to be considered my costless mercy. So we just sometime back mentioned that Brahmaji prayed for 4 shlokas, praised for 20 shlokas. The Lord recognizes that you chanted praising the glories of my transcendental activities for 20 shlokas. And you took all the penances on the tapasya to actually wanting me, to understand me. And you did all this with full shraddha, full faith, firm faith. All these are to be considered my costless mercy. We're able to do all this because I was merciful, I was blessing you. So you understand that our qualification has nothing. Our endeavor is what is very, very important. Brahmaji put his endeavor. He wanted to understand the Lord. When he heard tapasya, he went and did tapasya. When when our spiritual master says do 16 rounds properly, we have to do 16 rounds properly. It's not finishing of 16 rounds. In fact, there was this Janmashtami drama um, in Kudlu that we were watching, where the little kids, they were talking about how not to chant, and they had such wonderful examples. I was watching, I was like, "Arey, this also I do, this also I do, this also I do." I'm like, "Acha, they said 10 things and 9 things I'm doing." Right? You have your mobile phone next to you when you're chanting. That itself is wrong. You're thinking of your office work, your homework, your cooking. That is also wrong. So you're chanting 16 rounds, you're not putting correct effort. I'm saying to myself that, oh, okay, these kids. The next time when I was chanting, I was thinking of these kids and chanting. I was like, Acha, this is also wrong, right? So this is automatic, right? So whenever we are doing our service, we should understand that we will able to do it very nicely when the mercy of the Lord comes. The more and more the mercy comes, because the more and more we have endeavored, right? Damodar Lila, we'll talk about it in a few months, but endeavor and mercy, they go hand in hand. It's not my qualification. I don't think I'll be able to do any of the services with my qualification. I should understand this. Okay. I actually got a nice story here. I'm trying to search which logo it was, so we'll come there. I'm very much pleased by your description of me in terms of my transcendental qualities, which appear mundane to the mundaneness. I grant you all benedictions in your desire to glorify all the planets by your activities. Okay. Again, when you glorify the Lord accepts it. He's happy about it. Okay. When we actually say Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatumi, when you look at the beautiful lotus eyes of Jagannath and say that, oh, my dear Lord, please bestow your mercy with those huge eyes that you open on me. Oh, a normal person who's looking at you is like, kya baat kar raha hai ye? Right? So for a mundaneness, for mundane people, it just appears a mundane activity when you are praying to the Lord. But we actually have to do that. Any human being who prays like Brahma, very, very, very important shloka. We're coming to the closure of this. Any human being who prays like Brahma and who thus worships me shall very soon be blessed with the fulfillment of all his desires. For I am the Lord of all benedictions. Right? So this was not only for Brahmaji. Right? So many times we misunderstand that the instruction is given to the person in that activity. Oh, Lord is telling Arjuna, Sukadeva Goswami is telling Parikshit, Maitreya Muni is telling Vidura, and Garbhodaksha Vishnu here, or the Lord Vishnu is here is telling Brahmaji. No, he's telling all human beings who pray like Brahma. What did Brahma do? 20 prayers of glorification, 4 prayers of sincere prayers. I know what to do, but please bless me, please guide me, please be with me. Let me not become proud, let me not deviate. from the Vedic scriptures again and again, again and again, right? So when you pray like that, you'll be blessed by the Lord. Okay, for the Lord, for He is the Lord of all benedictions. Okay, we still have a few minutes. Let me touch upon important topic here, right? He is the Lord of all benedictions. And what happens a few days, a couple of days later, we have this Ganesh Chaturthi function, right? All you will see many people go out, praying to Lord Ganesha for benedictions. For a devotee, what is the mode? If you're actually doing it in your house as a ritualistic activity, if your parents are doing it, or whatever, right? So if that activity is happening in your colony, what should be our mood? How should we take it? Because first, as devotees, we all understand that the Lord is the benefactor of everything. Not a blade of grass grows without Lord's sanction. So if you're praying something to Ganeshi, even that will come only by the approval of the Lord. Right. So we should understand that, we should have that mode. On this, there is a nice pastime that I remember. There was a very wonderful devotee of uh, goddesses Durga, Kali, and every day without fail he would offer lots of fruits and flowers to Durga Devi. Oh, very nice devotee of Durga Devi. He continued to do it every day. One day, when he was offering, Durga Devi actually appeared in front of him and accepted whatever he was offering. He was very pleased. He was very ecstatic. He was just jumping. He was then obviously, I'm so happy you're here. Uh, what made you come in front of me today? And the goddesses replied, saying that you have a brother, my dear devotee. He says, yes, yes. He never comes and prays with me, but he actually prays to Krishna. Well, today he actually, uh, before you came, he offered these fruits and flowers to Krishna, and you took those fruits and flowers and you offered it to me. That's why I've actually appeared in front of you. My boss is pleased, so I am more happy. When you offer it to me, when you say I am the supreme, I am not so pleased. But when my supreme Lord is happy, obviously I'm very happy. I get the mercy, I get the Mahaprasad. So obviously I am very ecstatic. I'm saying this because whenever we go to demigods and tell them that you are the supreme, they are not happy. They are not going to like it. It's going to a peon and saying that you are the manager, going to a manager and saying you are the CEO. No, they know they are not. Okay, you may please them, your karma, whatever they give you based on your karma as sanctioned by the Lord, they can give you as long as you pray to the demigods. But when you pray to the Supreme Lord, the demigods are very happy. So what's the takeaway is, if at all you have to do this Ganesha puja at home or whatever is the ritualistic activity, the simplest thing, the Naivedya, the prasada, the bhoga that you're offering, uh, the flowers and everything that you're getting, please offer it to Jagannath uh, at your home, and then offer it to Ganeshji. It's so wonderful that they will actually happily accept it. And what will they do? They will bless you to become nice devotees of Krishna. That's what we, when we go Vancha Kalpatarupyascha, that's what we should do. We should not pray for anything else. They're all representative of the Supreme Lord. Correct? All these demigods, when you are actually forced to do a demigod worship, when you're not in a position to tell a no, then you do it very simple. To do it as they being representative of the Lord. So you offer everything to the Lord, then give it to them, pay obeisances, and you will be blessed. And please note, I'm not asking you to do Ganesha Puja. I'm saying if you do not have an option to not do, then please follow it. Let's continue. It is the opinion of expert transcendentalists that the ultimate goal of performing all traditional good works, penance, sacrifice, charities, mystic activities, dances, etc., is to invoke my satisfaction. The Supreme Lord is telling Brahmaji that whatever activity that you're doing, whatever isms that you have, whatever you want to do, whatever yoga, jnana paths that you want to follow, the ultimate purpose is to satisfy the Supreme Lord. And we have been discussing throughout the day saying that do your service for the pleasure of the Lord, do your service simple, only that. Otherwise, that activity is incomplete. That activity doesn't give you any ultimate goal, ultimate benefit. That's when Arjuna prays Shreyas and prayers. So ultimate, he wants Shreyas. He doesn't want temporary, immediate benedictions. So whatever activity that we're doing, we should do it for the pleasure of the Lord, for his satisfaction only. There is no two ways about it. I'm the super soul of every individual. I'm the supreme director and the dearest. People are wrongly attached to the gross and subtle bodies, but they should be attached only to on, attached to me only. This is what the Lord is concluding. So Lord is finished his instructions. He's told Brahmaji what to do. He's told him that you are doing these things correctly and do not be fearful. Like you said, you follow the principles, then the passion, the modes of nature will not affect you. And it's not only for you, that is the purpose of all the living entities. So he's concluding saying that I'm in everyone's heart. And as long as they come to me for directions, I will guide them properly. Because when they come to me for directions, they will be attached to me. Right? When you do it in the direction of the Supreme Lord. Okay. And in your sadhana bhakta stage, we do not know when the direction is coming from the Lord. If it's coming from the Lord, or is it by mental concoction? Seek direction from your superior authority. Prabhu or Mataji, I'm planning to do this, or I feel that this is correct, or there's some, when I go into, I have that, there's something from inside that's telling me, let me do this. And the person says that something from inside is your pride. That's a different thing, but you can go and seek blessings or seek direction from your authorities. Okay, and if someone is coming to you for directions, be extremely careful about how you direct them. The purport is very nice, very long. Please have a look. Okay, so the Lord concludes saying, by following my instructions, you can now generate the living entities as before by dint of your complete Vedic wisdom and the body you have directly received from me, the supreme cause of everything. The Lord is the supreme cause of everything. So he is saying that now go perform your duty, perform your service of your um, visarga, right? So your secondary creation. All the different people are ready, different bodies are ready, the souls are ready. Put them, pack them, and send it on. Do your service. Okay. After saying this, obviously the Lord does the normal thing. The sage Maitreya said, after instructing Brahmaji, the creator of the universe, to expand the primeval Lord, to expand the primeval Lord, the personality of Godhead in his personal form as Narayana, disappeared. So he gives all the instructions to Brahmaji and he says, Brahmaji, now you continue your creation. And he disappeared. Brahmaji prayed, the Lord directed, and he disappears from there. Okay, before his activity in creating the universe, Brahmaji saw the Lord. Okay, this is what we see in the Chaturshloki Bhagavatam, second canto. When the creation awaited Brahmaji's activities, Brahma saw the Lord, and therefore the Lord existed in his personal form. So here, this is a very important point. Just Prabhupada is concluding saying that Brahmaji never creates or created the Lord. The Lord is supreme, and he was existing before Brahmaji came into picture. So this concept of creation, maintenance, and destruction, people say that, oh, Brahmaji is the creator, so he creates everything. Lord Shiva is destructor. He destroys everything, and maintainer is Vishnu, and he maintains. Actually, Lord Vishnu existed before. He continues to exist before creation and after destruction as well. Okay, thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purpose of the third canto, 9th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Brahmaji's prayers for creative energy. So Brahmaji is read. So now in the next chapter, we will see the creation itself happening. Okay. So very nice sloka. There were a lot of instructions that were given here, lot of directions that were given. So, whatever we should take, we should understand what all are the things that I should try and adopt. Okay. With this, I will stop. If there are any questions, any comments from any of you, please let me know. Okay, I'm hoping devotees are still there. Okay, so I understand that there are no questions. Yes, Premami Mataji, thank you so much. So thank you everyone for joining. I'm not sure if Sri Hari Prabhu is here for giving any updates on upcoming
Hare Krishna,
program.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. Do you want to summarize or do you want to tell any other schedule?
Prabhu, we have an announcement. We have an special class by His Grace Jagat Sakshi Prabhu on 18th of September. That is on Monday, 6 p.m.
Oh,
to 8 p.m. So,
oh,
kindly please
wonderful.
attend that session. I wanted to just say that
For
to everyone.
devotees who do not know His Grace Jagat Sakshi Prabhu, please do attend. And which language is it, Prabhu? Is he speaking in
It's
Tamil,
in English.
Malayalam,
It's
or
in English.
English?
It's
Okay,
English.
yeah, okay. He's a wonderful speaker. For devotees. Uh, Please take out time. And here I would be unfortunate if I'm missing that class because it's on a weekday. We should have tried to arrange on a weekend. Last weekend we had Nitai Sevani Mataji and Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj. Jagashakshi Prabhu is a super good speaker. He's been to our temple in the past a few times. Now he's so busy. He takes care of the Kerala area, Thiruvananthapuram and other areas there. He's a Tamilian. He's got a lot of connect with Bangalore, and his Ramayan Katha is something that if devotees can even YouTube it, you cannot miss it. He's so sweet when he tells the Katha. So please do try to join in. I'm hoping there is some poster that comes out shortly. Sri Hari Prabhu, we should inform the larger group at temple as well.
Sure, Prabhuji.
Yes, okay. Thank you so much. And next Saturday, the same time, we'll be fasting for the most glorious Radharani, Srimati Radharani's appearance day. So Radhashtami is round the corner. Be prepared with your services. You should already have your service list. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining. Grantaraj, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Premanande, Hari Hari. Thank you everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.